Because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that.
But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view...
But you basically go after Trump and Biden, you know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that.
Not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is doing more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. Mm-hmm. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power. Long ago, when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot, and I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Finally, new rule, someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses, we know they are stupid, just don't say it. We are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good.
Once again, the renowned intermediary who perplexed everyone destroyed The View and publicly attacked Sunny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg. Bill Maher attacked the wokies on his most recent episode, pointing out that they never seem to learn from their mistakes. The cycle never changes. No contemplation, loud fury, rinse and repeat. And believe me, he didn't hold anything back this time.
But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want.
Okay.
Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know. Want to call it the super far left? But don't tell me the left had...
the super far right.
Well, he's talking about the left. Well, then
okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
And the most outrageous aspect, they didn't even realize it was a joke. People were warned not to laugh at something that was obviously supposed to be hilarious for the first time in history. That merely demonstrates their extreme lack of common sense. It's gone. Completely lost.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? Are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war. It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yeah.
You do.
Yes.
So how can we have a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means. Okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the rightfully. Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And all the Jews, they're calling for the annihilation.
And the loudest hush I've ever seen was right here. Bill completely destroyed them in front of millions of people. The fact that nobody on that panel was able to respond with a single word added to the humor. They froze. Because, let's face it, when the reality hits you so hard, what can you say? The wokies turned their backs on the very people they professed to protect and forced themselves into a position siding with the opposing side.
But you basically go after Trump and Biden, you know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that. I'm
not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power long ago when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot. And I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Because plainly, I was using the term slow-moving coup before he was elected the first time.
That's right.
I said, this guy is never going to concede power. It's impossible to imagine him going, oh, I lost.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's just not in his nature.
So, but I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but...
Oh, I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say, but you know I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's. Yeah, okay. And look, Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
Well, here's what I said. Like, when I came back after the strike in September, I said, he should get out. Because he's just lost the faith of people. It's not fair. He's actually done a pretty good job. Yeah. But I said he's going to be Ruth Bader Biden. That's the term I used. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She stayed too long at the fair. Yeah. I remember Obama had her over to the White House, like in 2013, to hint, hey, spend more time with the grandkids. That would not be a good idea, Ruth. And she didn't take the hint, and she was not in good health, and she stayed too long, and she ruined her legacy and got the Supreme Court now to be...
Joy Bahar's statement that Joe Biden is doing well made it quite evident that they never really comprehended what Bill was saying. Such as, I don't mean to be critical, but I can't think of a single positive thing Biden has done this year. Since no one has noticed it, if there is one, it is lurking in plain sight.
Mask, you have to have a card, you have to have a booster, they scan your head. Like you're a cashier and I'm a bunch of bananas. I'm not bananas, you are.
That's not really funny to people who've lost their kids to this vaccine, or people who've lost family members or dear friends to this.
The far-left crowd, on the other hand, seems determined to reach their lowest point and never give up. Just watch this next video to see for yourself. You will witness them become agitated over nothing at all, acting as though they are genuinely concerned. But let's face it, they don't care about anyone outside of their own echo chamber, including you and me.
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended.
And you can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates. You're the teachers union education party and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
And I can say that speaking the silent part aloud has become popular lately, and the liberal media is the best at it. They no longer even make an effort to conceal it. It's all in the open, and individuals like Bill Maher are taking the initiative to expose them harshly and demonstrate to the public how deep the left has truly sunk.
I'm like a royal family that, because of so much incest, has unfortunately had children who are retarded. And the same thing can happen to ideas if they are also conceived in an atmosphere of intellectual incest. Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with.
Furthermore, the left has never once given the possibility of being mistaken any thought. The View in particular. It is their habit to pretend that they are the only ones moving in the correct direction. Wait until you hear how Bill Maher took them apart by speaking what no one else dared to say.
It means things like, well, you know, you can't fix stupid. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. Yeah, you're stupid because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're not thinking about maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we're not perfect. You know, it's like a relationship. You got dumped. America dumped you, and they're all like, you don't know what you had. Yes, they do. They know what they had, and what they're saying is, we know what we had, and you're a mess.
I'm not suggesting that we should have complete faith in Bill Maher either, but you can be sure that I'm keeping an eye on the left when they start exposing themselves on national television, because it's obvious that nobody on that side is prepared to actually do anything to reverse course. To be honest, nothing has improved, and the left continues to veer farther and farther every day. The weight of their own stupidity is beginning to destroy even their own mainstream media. For the record, it was they who were yelling about government funding cuts, stating things like, if you can't make it without federal dollars, perhaps it's time to change your business model and create content that people want to watch. The irony? These days, their own media outlets are more affected by that statement than anybody else.